And we're back, guys. I'm your host, Good Energy. Tennis in a minute. I'm in the studio getting you caught up on my top 10 American list. That's right, guys. My top 10 players from the USA. Jennifer Brady was number 10 on this list. Why? Well, if you didn't watch the initial video, I'll get you caught up quickly here. Before the injury, Jennifer Brady was gaining steam. We saw two epic battles at the US Open and then followed up at the Australian Open with Naomi Osaka. Just one of those victories could have propelled her inside the top 5. But when she's healthy, her forehand is one of the best on tour. She's very strong. She's a great server. Watch out for Jennifer Brady this year. Number 9 on this list, Emma Navaro. She reminds me of Jennifer Capriati. She's very strong. She has an amazing backhand, a muscular build, and she's very athletic. We saw her win the college championship, the only female to do it at Virginia University, next to Danielle Collins. She propelled in the college rankings to number 1. She's a junior slam champion. We saw her come out of nowhere with a 64 win season. She broke the top 50, the top 40, the top 30. She's 10-2 on the year, and she sits at rank 23. She's number 9 on this list, guys. Watch out. I think she's going to be a problem on the tour for many years. I can see her having a comparable career to that of a Jessica Pegula. Number 8 on this list. Again, if you did not watch the initial video, go check that out, but I'll get you caught up quickly here. Amanda Anisimova, a former top-ranked former junior slam champion. She's one of the strongest, cleanest ball strikers on tour. She does it effortlessly. She has an amazing forehand, and she can go down the line with the backhand. Her ball striking reminds me of Naomi Osaka, who's a bit older, but more accomplished on tour with 4 Grand Slam titles. I think Amanda, after taking her break, mentally she's where she needs to be. And watch out, guys. She can go toe-to-toe with anyone on tour. She can match the power of any player on tour. And as long as she's focused, look, she's essentially a top 5 American any day of the week. But we have to give her a chance to get back to her level. She's number 8 on this list. Number 7 on this list, 22 years old, Payton Sterns. That's right, guys. We saw her come out of nowhere and propel inside the top 50. She had a 45-win season last year. She's a 5-time ITF champion, and she made 5 ITF championship appearances last year. Her big breakout run at the Grand Slam came at the French Open, where she made it to the 3rd round after taking out Senyakova in the 1st round and Yelena Ostapenko in the 2nd round, going 3 sets with her. But it didn't stop there. She stormed into the US Open, making it to the round of 16, taking out Tomova in the 1st round, Clara Tauson in the 2nd round, Katie Boulter in the 3rd. All of those wins in straight sets, but Marketa Vondrousova, a Wimbledon champion, needed 3 sets to put away Payton Sterns. And her future is bright. Trust me, guys. Payton Sterns is the only player in Texas history to lead the college to a NCAA Division I Women's Single National Championship. She did that in 22. Payton Sterns is insanely athletic. She's very fast, she's explosive vertically, and I think her backhand is pretty solid. I would love to see her work a little bit on the serve to take a lot more pressure off of her service games, but aside from that, Payton Sterns, number 6 on this list, because she is darn good. Number 6 on this list, she needs no introduction, ladies and gentlemen. 5'7", 25 years old. Although she was born in Russia, Moscow, she came here as a toddler with her father, who literally had to beg the organizers at the local tennis club to help train his daughter for free. He had 0 funds. And boy, was that a very good investment. Sophia Kenin, as high as world's number 4 after that impressive run at the French Open a few years ago with Iga Swiatek in the lockout COVID year. Boy, was that amazing. Now, she is also a Grand Slam champion, ladies and gentlemen. Now, she won the Australian Open earlier that year, and we saw her do it in very impressive fashion. How? Well, she went through Alycia Parks. Who does that, ladies and gentlemen? That's right. She went through Alycia Parks, and she even took out Garbiñe Muguruza, two-time slam champion. But don't forget about Coco Gauff on Shibor. Now, she's number 6 on this list. We know she's had injury troubles as of late. She's had trouble finding her rhythm and her form. Even though she's 1-4 on the year, she is coming off of a 30-win season where we saw her make a deep run, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, at Guadalajara, she made the semifinal before losing to Caroline Dolehide. But before that, she made the San Diego Championship match where she took out Veronika Kudermetova. American upcoming talent Katie Volley-Nets. Will she be on this list? Stay tuned, if not, possibly next year. Anastasia Potapova and Emma Navaro, who is on this list, before losing to Barbora Krejcikova in the championship match. But she's back. She's where she needs to be. Although the slow start this year, Sophia Kenin is number 6 on this list because Sophia Kenin is an all-around amazing good shot maker. She doesn't have the serve speed or power to overpower opponents, so she wins matches by her mental toughness, her physical ability to get balls back, defend, her range within the lines, and her short balls. Her drop shots underrated and her slices are underrated. Sophia Kenin is a mentally tough warrior. Number 5 on this list right now is Alycia Parks. Now, when I started this list, Alycia Parks was ranked top 40 in the world. Now, she has dropped a bit. She didn't have the opportunity to defend her title in Lyons, France, but she is one of the hardest hitters on tour. She's got the fastest serve on record at the US Open, tied with Venus Williams. She did that a few years back. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, coming off of a season where she led the tour in aces per match, that's right, literally just under 10 aces per match, insane. And that's with playing a much reduced schedule than some of the top 10 players or top 20 players. Alycia Parks is 6'1", she's 23 years old, and she's very athletic. Her best shot is her serve, ladies and gentlemen. That's her weapon. She puts opponents on the back foot right away, and they struggle to gain a rhythm against Alycia Parks because she hits so strong and powerful. Her backhand down the line is improving, and I love what I see with her forehand across court. Alycia Parks is number 5 on this list because of her power. She is so strong, and I think she beats a lot of the ladies on this list pretty easily, except if your name is Coco. She's beat current or former top 10 players such as Karolina Pliskova, Maria Sakkari, Qinwen Zheng, Victoria Azarenka, Caroline Garcia, and she's gone 3 sets with several of them, including Caroline Garcia and Barbora Krejcikova. Alycia Parks is number 5 on this list because she is someone you want to watch out for. Number 4 on this list, she needs no introduction. Former world rank number 3, 2017 US Open champion, Sloan Stevens. Now, if you're not familiar, no one gave her a chance to win that 2017 US Open. Her story is almost as great as Emma Raducanu's, except she didn't come from qualifiers. But she came off of an injury where she was just ranked astronomically. No one gave her a chance to win the US Open, and she came out and did it against Madison Keys. Now, she even followed up the next year by making it to the quarterfinal. Now, Sloan is ranked number 4 on this list because even playing a limited schedule, she's still the 5th ranked American behind Gauff, Pegula, Keys, and Navaro. Now, I do have Sloan ahead of Navaro. I mean, it's no question there, right? She's more experienced. She's a better shot maker. And Sloan's number 4 on this list, it's simple. She's criticized a lot for not using her athletic ability and only playing when she wants to. Watching her matches, a lot of the professional former players and commentators, they feel that. I feel it too, to be honest with you. I mean, I watched Sloan play. I think she plays at probably a 75% level, and she's not injured. I feel if she does crank it into 85, 90%, 100%, I think she gets back inside the top 20 where she probably belongs. But she's number 4 on this list because she's an amazing shot maker. She's a patient counter puncher now. She doesn't really play too aggressive. I feel if she does take it to that next level, we will see her win more matches and more championships. But a lot of players feel Sloan should have 10 to 15 titles and multiple Grand Slams. That's a consensus. Everyone feels she should have multiple Grand Slams. Now, she did have a chance to win that French Open in 2018 against Simona Halep, where she again was up a set, and we saw her let her guard down. But Sloan's number 4 on this list because she is just an insane shot maker between the lines. She does not make a lot of mistakes. Opponents that beat her, they play aggressive and they hit winners. Sloan Stevens, number 4. Number 3 on this list, she is amazing. Now, number 3 and number 4 possibly interchangeable, right? Depending on who you ask. Danielle Collins, 5'10", 30 years old. She is a 2-time NCAA Division I tennis champion. That's right, guys. Former college number 1. We saw her win the 2014 and 2016 college NCAA championship for Virginia University, the first female to do it for the university. Now, Danielle Collins is amazing. She's got a great backhand, a great forehand. Her serve looks great so far. She has enormous power. She can put anyone on the back foot. You saw what she did to Iga Swiatek, Elena Rybakina. She can beat anyone on tour you saw what she did to Naomi Osaka, as long as she's in shape. Now, I felt the last couple seasons, she has not entered the season with her best foot forward. And she has announced that she is going to retire. Now, listen, I'll be honest, I started to leave her off of this list. You know, how can you be a top American if you're announcing retirement? It's like you got one foot in, one foot out. But with her recent performances with Iga Swiatek, you know, it's just Elena Rybakina. You can't leave her off. Naomi Osaka, she's got to be on the list. She's 8-5 on the year. She's coming off of back-to-back 20-win seasons, which is unlike her. And I've said it, even with Sloan, which is why number 3 and number 4 interchangeable on this list. They don't play a rigorous schedule. They don't play this long schedule. You know, they're playing right around 40 matches a year, just under, and they're content with that. They're okay with that. But Danielle Collins, I think she's going to go out with a bang. I think she's going to win a championship this year. I mean, she's already beat the likes of Angelique Kerber, Naomi Osaka, Veronika Kudermetova, and she's given tough matches to Rybakina and Iga Swiatek. So I do think Danielle Collins will win a championship this year. And very fittingly, aside from rankings, I mean, she's ranked 71st, which is good enough to give her the 9th overall ranking of all Americans on the World Tour, behind Coco Gauff, Pegula, Madison Keys, who's injured and inactive, Emma Navaro, Sloan Stevens, Carolyn Dolehide, Sophia Kenin, and Payton Sterns. Now, the unfortunate thing about all Americans is all of the Americans I've named except Danielle Collins have all lost their last match, which is pretty darn interesting. But nonetheless, guys, Danielle Collins, number 3 on this list because of her power and just her ability to put anyone on the back foot. She's number 3, and I do think she wins a title this year. Stay tuned. Number 2 on this list, the world's rank number 4. She's been as high as number 3, and she's the number 2 overall ranked American in the world. Big game Jessie P, 5'7", 29 years old, from Buffalo. And listen, if you've never been to Buffalo, you don't want to go, especially in the winter. It is so freaking cold. We went to a Bills game. It was -7 degrees. Like literally, your beverage, when you pour it out in the air or spill, it turns to ice instantly. So freaking cold. Now, coming off of back-to-back 40-win seasons, back-to-back WTA final appearances, 59-win season last year. She made the championship match at the WTA finals before losing to Iga. Big bad Iga. 4-2 on the year. Big game Jessie P is a champion. She's got 4 overall titles on her career. And of course, I mean, she's a late blossomer. We saw the drought from 2019 up until 22, where she did not win a title, but she won Mexico in 22, taking out the Greek goddess. And then last year we saw her win Montreal, a 1000 event, in Seoul, Korea. Now she does have Korean heritage, so that was beautiful to see her win that. Now, and she did mention after winning that she does plan to come back, learn the language more and the local traditions. Big Game Jessie P is a complete player, and she's number 2 on this list. She'll probably be number 2 for the next who knows how many years, several at least. She's got a good baseline game. She's got a good mid-range game. She's good at redirecting. She has good two-way play because she plays a lot of doubles. I think she's one of the best players on tour at adjusting in match to her opponent. She led the tour last year in breakpoint opportunities, which shows she can defend as well. Last year, she defended at a return rate of about 37%. Pegula's great. She's a good player. I love her mental focus. She did announce separation with her coach, David. Hopefully, she finds someone that can help get her to the next stage of her career. I felt she's there. I mean, I don't think the coaching change was necessary because I just feel, look, she's a walking quarterfinalist. She'll make it to any quarterfinal in any slam or master event. So I felt she was right there. But looking at ways she can improve, I think the serve and the power, maybe she's looking to go with someone comparable to Ribas that can help the serve. Why? Because take a look at what Ribas has done with his last two players, Coco and Queenwin. They've both made a slam final in literally less than 6 months. He's had 2 professional athletes and led them to a Grand Slam final in less than 6 months of working with them. We're talking like 2 months with Queenwin and 3 months with Coco. Insane. So maybe Coco's looking for someone like that can help get her to the next level. And I say this a lot. The difference between lower level players, ITF players, and main tour players with their coaches is a lot of times an ITF coach, he can get you to that level. But once you get to the main tour, you normally have to make a change in coaching. And we see that happen a lot because once you're on the professional level, your coach that got you there normally can't keep you there. And that's just adjusting to the way things are done, the power, the speed, all of those differences in the 2 levels of play. Normally you do have to have a coaching change to propel yourself to the next level. But Pegula's number 2 because she's just flat out tough, like she said. Number 1 is next. And before we get into the number 1 player on my top American list, look, it might be a dead giveaway. I mean, let's just be honest, guys, right? But some players that are not on this list, first off, Bernarda Pera. She's not on the list, and look, she's the 12th ranked American, but she was on last year's list, but I just feel right now she's struggling way too much. She's making a lot of errors. She's losing to a lot of players she should not lose to. So unfortunately, she's not on this list. I just don't see her as a top 10 American right now. And Caroline Dolehide, she's someone, I mean, technically she is the 6th ranked American, but I do feel a lot of that was from the depleted draw in Mexico, where a lot of the stars pulled out. Let's just be honest. And I mean, look, let's just keep it a buck here. They handed Zachary that championship. Dolehide probably doesn't make it to that final, and she probably doesn't have those points. I do think she is a good player. She has a good backhand, but right now I have her just outside the top 10. I'd probably have her 11th or 12th behind someone like Pera, maybe a Taylor Townsend, who Taylor Townsend wins matches. She has a good win percentage. I do feel her being a parent, her schedule is a bit limited, but I do think if she to become her matches, she'll gain more points naturally. But she does have a focus of primarily playing doubles, which she said she's now getting back into the singles things as she wants to become a more complete singles player. Claire Liu, struggling way too much. I don't know what's wrong with her game. Mentally, I think there's something there. Katie Volleynuts, she's an upcoming player you have to watch out for. I do think It's possible she could make my top 10 list in a couple of years. I don't know about next year. I think this is going to be another learning season for her. Still a bit green. Lauren Davis, she possibly could have made this list. I mean, she's dropped in points without having the opportunity to defend her title due to injury. So, I mean, now she's probably around 20th, 21st in terms of ranked Americans. So just being injured, I think, affected her from making this list. Haley Baptiste, she's reached a new high ranking of 1. Players also, Coco said, watch out for her. She should be a top 50 player this year. It's possible. She's playing a lot of tennis and she's winning a lot of matches, so watch out for that. Players also you want to watch out for: Kayla Day, Emma Beckes, Ashlyn Kruger. These are all players that they're not there in terms of top 10 Americans, but they could be there next year. Madison Keys, why isn't she on the list? She's not on the list along with Bernarda Pera, but Madison Keys is a bit different. It's just because she's injured. When she comes back, it's going to take a bit for her to get in shape, form, and adjust to, getting her power back. I mean, it's not like she lost it, but she's going to have to find her rhythm with her ball striking. So therefore, she's not currently a top 10 American. Number 1, Coco Gauff. Number 1 on this list, without a doubt, is Coco. We know that, right? Not only is she the top ranked American, but she's number 3 in the world behind Iga and Sabalenka. She's number 7. We saw her win Auckland starting off the year. We saw her win Washington, D.C., Cincinnati, and the U.S. Open, the Grand Slam. We've all been waiting for her to win, which I said last year she would win the U.S. Open this year, or in 22 rather. I said she would win future of tennis, and she's the best player right now in the USA, and arguably the best player in the world. She's the best defender in the world. She's winning 55% of her return games. Last year, she won 47% of her return games. Can you imagine breaking your opponent every other game? Her defense is insane. Mike Tyson said it best: my defense is ferocious. Coco Gauff gets balls back better than anyone on tour. She chases balls down better than anyone on tour. Her footwork's amazing. Her athletic ability is amazing. Her baselining ability is great. She wants to get to the backhand. Her backhand's top notch. She's worked on the forehand. She was using it as a defensive tool to return balls. Now she's attacking with it cross court. Her serve speeds are insane. She's got to control her double faults, but working with the new mechanics, with her new coach, it seems like it's a learning curve right now. But I do think Brad Gilbert knows what to do. I mean, Andy Roddick, Andre Agassi. I think he even worked with Pete Sampras a little bit. I could be mistaken there, but he's fine-tuning the things that need to be fine-tuned for her to step up to the next level and win multiple slams. Coco's number 1 because her two-way play is amazing. She's great at the net. She reminds me of Venus Williams in her prime, how she would just blast at first serve. Opponents return the short ball. She puts the volley away. Coco she's only 19. There's no other player inside this current top 10 that have won a Grand Slam at 19, that have made 2 WTA finals in singles and doubles at 19, and has won 7 main tour titles at 19 while winning 8 doubles titles. No one's done that at 19. No one's been a junior number 1 while winning multiple junior Grand Slam titles, making it to the 4th round of a Grand Slam tournament at 15, defeating 20 current or former top-ranked 20 players by the age of 19, and that was actually 18. Coco is just insane, guys. The stats, the metrics, all the records she's broken. Look, why don't we just end the video here? Coco Gauff is my top-ranked American. I think her future is bright, and the only question is how many Grand Slams will she win? I think she wins at least 15, guys. I mean, that's literally just winning 1 a year for the next 14 years. I think she can do that. And if we account for some of the years where she might be able to double up, and those, look, let's take a look at players like Sabalenka as she starts to age 5 or 6 years from now. Who do you think is going to be winning multiple Grand Slams? Coco's going to be, what, 24? going to be Coco. She's going to be doubling up. I think Wimbledon and the US Open, I think that run, if she gets hot, that's going to be a big run for her to start racking up slams, 2 a year in my opinion. Wimbledon, US Open, that's where she's going to get the bulk of her slams. Why? Wimbledon's a very fast surface. Coco's athletic ability, it's just a surface that works well with her game, in my personal opinion. We saw her as a 15-year-old show that. Coco Gauff, my best and top ranked American player. Tennis in a Minute. Like the video, show some love. We'll be back. Super Bowl prediction coming soon. I have not lost a Super Bowl prediction in a long time. We don't plan on losing today. Like the video, show some love. See you guys later.